good afternoon and good morning and good evening, depends on where you are. I am in the UK. My guest this afternoon is in Spain. There's 1 hour difference. But I'm also conscious that there are 4, 5, 10 hours, even 13 hours different from some of our viewers. And what that says, that's why we greet people, not different languages, but in different times of to appreciate and to show understanding that we are not in the same zone. So today, I have a guest. This guest, a lot of people say, Otumba, I was together. I was suit all my life. I was suit all my life. And that was when I was working with the bank in Nigeria for 5 years. Oh yeah, weekend, man, was different, whatever. But then again, throughout the time in Germany, it's on and off that I have access to a native. Today, I have this gentleman that has a lot. I want to use a word that might be not negative or not positive, but I'm going to try and say it as it is. He is not only is angry, but he thinks fear is fear. Justice, equity, and fairness should not be compromised, just like that. And he thinks, as somebody, not only him, but there are many other people that are involved in what we are going to discuss. And so I'll use the word spill. It may be in the process of people that say, he's spilling the beans, whatever you want to call it. But I think the ultimate aim of this program is to bring to notice of our viewers to see that there's something not right in most of our spaces. I'm not telling you where the spaces are. But without a further ado, let me introduce my guest of tonight. Today, you see, a lot of people say tonight, because I'm used to my honorable guest. I hardly do afternoon things. Most of the time it's night. I know the way the brain is programmed. You keep repeating certain things. It's automatic. So please, viewers, don't mind me all that much, but try to understand. I'm trying to do my best, even at 75. I don't take anything for granted. I don't want to start saying, no. I appreciate whatever and what is going on. Right. I'm going to get my guest to introduce himself, and then we will get started. But before I say anything, after my guest has introduced himself, I will make a public disclaimer, and the disclaimer will be about that the opinions of my guest is my guest's own and his own alone. He's not speaking for Clevenard Television, and we are not soliciting him to promote anything, but to let the whole world knows what exactly is going on. And he should be able to defend whatever the outcome or aftermath of whatever we discuss. Honorable, can you please introduce yourself and tell our viewers what you do, what you have been doing, or what you still want to do? I'm sure one of them might be you want to be president of Nigeria or whatever. Just tell us exactly all what we need to know about you, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Otumba. I am Pastor Olarewaju Olumakin, popularly known as Pastor Larry to all my followers. For the last 22 years and 4 months, I've worked in the Nigerian embassy here in Madrid, Spain. As well, I've been a pastor founder of the church the Lord has permitted me to be pastoring for the last 60 years. In the embassy, I was the head of the local staff until February when the problem came and my employment was terminated. By the special grace of God, nobody knows tomorrow. As a clergy, I'm still working for God. So maybe I will go back to work in the public place. I can't really say now. But as of today, I'm a pastor. Thank you.
A pastor.
Yes, sir.
Well, again, I don't have all the qualifications to start a kind of not query or ask questions. I can ask questions because my understanding is if you don't know anything, you better ask. And because at a certain level of everybody's life, you become with so much experience that you can use it to ask questions, because the past experience you have, when I was 11 years, I was not able to do this. So when you get to a certain age, you started asking questions, maybe from past experience or from present and probably the future experience. So I would try to avoid your area of religion as much as possible. But I might just use it. But when I use it, please, I don't want you to think, this man is biased. No, I'm not. I can say to the whole world clearly, born Muslim, but I can't remember when last I practiced any of the religions. That was due to me. That is my own thing. Me and my own God. It's nothing to do with anybody. I have a direct number to call the Almighty, and I use it all the time when I need to talk to Him. And He has always been. I've never been on hold before. So somehow, thank God. Now, Olumakin.
Yes, please.
Tell us your. Oh, before I go there, I remember saying that I'm going to make, apart from the disclaimer, I put in motion to get the embassy, the embassy or the ambassador of Nigeria in Spain. I've tried to contact them to ask them that I'll be giving them a right of fair hearing, a right to reply to all whatever you say today, because it's been recorded. And like I said, there won't be any room to be partial. The truth will always sell itself. The truth you cannot hide the truth. So whatever you say, like the Olokpa people will say, can be used against whatever, blah, blah, blah. But also, I want to assure the ambassador. Do you use ambassador or commissioner? What do you use?
Ambassador.
Ambassador, because in the UK we use high commissioner.
Yes,
that's why So the ambassador, I've tried to contact him or the embassy or whoever the spokesperson is to come on this program on Clevenard TV to come and tell us the side of their own story. But I couldn't do that for you because I need to hear from you first. So whatever you say are probably going to be seen as either allegations or statements. And I now want them to come and refute, to disagree, or whatever. So this is just the short announcement. I will make this same announcement towards the end of this program, just to reiterate what I said, just to reconfirm that the right for the embassy and the ambassador or whoever the spokesperson to reply to what you said will always be open. So we leave it like that. Now, tell us your activities. What have you been doing in the embassy? You said you've been working there the last almost 22 years or so?
22 years, 4 months.
Yeah. So let's, I don't know whether you can still remember. I still try to remember when I left Nigeria in 1970. So I still remember certain things. But tell us what you can still remember when you started and what has been going on, so we can then get people to at least hear fully your side of the story.
Thank you very much. I joined the embassy, Nigeria Embassy, Spain, in 1999, to be specific. 1st of October 1999, and the then ambassador was a career diplomat. His name, Ambassador Otuyelu. Ambassador Otuyelu. I was employed to the security department, and as time moves on, I became the head of the department for many years, I can say. I have worked with up to 4 ambassadors before the incumbent. I've worked with Ambassador Ebenyi, who happens to be an Igbo man, very nice, and any one of them can talk about me. I worked with Ambassador Bianca Ojukwu. We were very close. I worked with Ambassador Obedwazane, who is from Borno State. Very, very close. We have this close rapport with all the ambassadors. Until 2017, the 5th ambassador, Ambassador Aderonke Folani, who happens to be the second Yoruba ambassador I worked with. During that time, we had a very bad experience in the Nigerian embassy, which has never been. In fact, it took away the life of one of the old drivers in the embassy. And it was in the time of COVID, when everybody were in the house. Ambassador Aderonke Folari, along with the head of chancery and the accountant, the then accountant, they dubiously, I will use the word as many times I can say, packed everything that belongs to the employee. We were made to suffer during our time, 3 years. We were made to suffer a lot of things, especially during the COVID-19. Ambassador and our team, it has never happened before. They began to pay salary every 3 months. Every 3 months. And that until a revelation came from Nigeria. We discovered that this woman was sending palliative to the community she came from Ogun State. And that, through that palliative or exposure, God help us, there was an intervention of a blogger from Sweden, I think, who exposed the evil of Ambassador Deroke. And through that, I think she exposed her and she was called back to Nigeria. There came the time of Ambassador Ademola Seriki. When he came, we thought a Messiah has come to the embassy. He came almost 8 months ago. We thought he's a Messiah. And everybody rallied around him. We were doing all we can do. I was redeployed from the security department where I headed for many years to work along with the consular officer, as well as working, as the case may be, if there's a need for me to move along with the ambassador himself. That was what I was doing until the January, when he came from Nigeria. He called the stars for a meeting, a short meeting. Prior to that time, we had rumors that the ambassador was planning to change the permanent contract, which is the habitual way of working in Spain. You start from provisional, and if you are good, your provisional contract will be changed to permanent contract. And on that ground, until maybe you resign or you are retired. We had the rumor that Ambassador Demola was planning to change our permanent contract to provisional ones. And because we have a union sort of, I am the head of the local staff. We meet once in a while. We discuss about things that are going on, things that will happen again. What are the steps we are supposed to take? And when Ambassador Demola came, first, we were paid extra salary, which is one of the payment rules of labor law in Spain. We have 14 pay. During the time of our Ambassador Aderonke, she cut off the 14 pay. She and the accountant and the head of chancery dubiously packed all those things, the right that belongs to the staff. I will say this as many times as I can. Ambassador Demola came. He promised to restore all this right. But unfortunately, by January, the head of chancery, in person of Mrs. Danladi Beatrice, who is a diplomat, try and pay the December double pay. And 2 weeks later, Ambassador Demola recalled back that no, that payment was an error. It couldn't have been an error because the head of chancery won't do anything without the authorization of the ambassador, even though he's a political appointee. And that was where the joker, the rumor, was looking like reality. And he called us for a meeting when he returned back to Spain. And there he began to tell us, try to encourage sweet words were coming from him. And suddenly he changed the sweet tone to harsh one, to say, look, 20-something years back in one of their mission, an ambassador closed down the mission and nothing happened. Heaven did not fall. I want to use his own language. And he asked us questions and nobody answered to his question. And all he said later, if you don't have anything to say, go and meet my accountant. And anything he presents to you, follow instruction. And when we got there, we saw that our ambassador has prepared a provisional contract to replace our permanent contract. And we all, one after the other, told the accountant, it is impossible. You don't do it this way. First, terminate the existing contract, which is a permanent one. Give us our entitlement and present before anyone who is interested to sign this provisional contract. That is the way to do it. I was invited by the ambassador. I stayed in his office for more than 2 hours and told me, as the head of the staff, why can't you sign? I told him, look, I have worked for 22 years in this embassy. If I mistakenly sign this your provisional contract without terminating the existing one, that means I have resigned, which means I'm going to lose all my benefit, my contribution for 22 and 4 months years. And the Social Security will be a waste. I told him, no, terminate the first appointment, bring forward your provisional contract. On that ground, he said, no, he have the power. Foreign minister is his friend. He needs only to call 2 people in Nigeria and nothing will happen. He is going to sack all of us. Well, there was no way to appeal to him. We did all our best. All I saw as the head of the local staff, I was called and I was served a termination of appointment letter, which I have here, dated 24th of January, 2022. And the effect will be because of the labor law, 15 days gap. Finally, my days of working at the embassy ended up on the 7th of February. This is the letter here. And to God be the glory with other 2 people. After working 22 years, 4 months, the other sister worked for 25 years and co. And the other brother who were given the termination letter, the same thing, 3 of us. We were given half of what we are entitled to. And instead of dragging anything with him, there's a room to go to court. This is a democratic nation. And we employ a labor lawyer. Few days after, he sacked another person until he sacked 11 of us. One was humiliated, who has worked in the embassy for 27 good years. A police was called to send him off the building without no justification. And this, we felt it was an injustice. You sack 11 people. He paid us half, 3 of us. 8 people since February. They are yet to be given anything. And Ambassador Demola was going around boasting that nothing will happen. Even if justice will be given to us, he will no longer be in Spain. By that time, he will have been in Nigeria. And we felt that is impossible. The God that I am serving will not allow him to go without getting the right judgment. And we put our plans together. And as God will have his way, Ambassador Demola, along with the Spanish lawyer who is representing the embassy, forged our signature. They went to the reconciliatory court to forge our signature, to say we are in agreement with what he has proposed to us. And when our lawyer discovered it, and that was why the protest that came up on the 24th of April, in front of the High Court of Justice, we were demanding, our lawyer was there in the picture. It was an headline newspaper in the newspaper of Nigeria on the following day. Everybody has written about it. We need justice. And what most of the placard carries, that Ambassador Demola should be recalled back home. He's not fit to be an ambassador of Nigeria. Many people are suffering, sacking even cleaners to replace them with foreigners. In the Nigerian embassy in Madrid today, Ambassador Demola has replaced Nigerians for foreigners, which is not the practice of any embassy. We have Kenya embassy. Nearby the embassy, you can hardly see a colored person there. But that is what Ambassador Demola is doing right now, sacking Nigeria to replace them with foreigners. Thank you. I think for now.
Wow. So much has been said, and I take note as you are pouring out all this information vis-a-vis allegations.
Thank you.
I always say this. I'm not a practicing lawyer. I only went to study law at the age of 49, or 26, 27 years, whatever. And I still think that the legal education I have continue to stand me in good stead. I can still manage to use it to make judgments. Not all the judgments I make are right or correct. Some of them can also still be mistakes, but I still find myself in a position of I'm happy I take this decision. I wasn't biased when I was taking a decision. I'm happy you have shown 1 or 2 evidences. That is the example, evidence that why you really sacked, and you show us a letter that you have sacked. About the salaries thing, you also show us or show our viewers that there have been many times all the different ambassadors that came, they've chosen to play up or play around with your salaries. Probably they've forgotten that the space is in Spain, that direct debits cannot be tampered with. When you set a direct debit for your electricity, other utilities, you must make sure that money is always in your account.
That's right.
Unlike the way it is in Oshogbo or somewhere in Otukpo, that the lead, I mean, the people, the head of organization, ministry, or whatever, see the people there as animals. They don't worth anything. So whether they eat or not, it doesn't bother them. And I think that is where some of the ambassadors, these are the thing I'm going to ask the ambassador. I'm checking my mail. Hopefully when he comes, or whoever wants to represent him will come, so we can also compare notes. We can also compare this. But the experience I have, or I've read, I've never worked in the embassy, but I have people adopted junior brothers and so on that worked, and I know what they were going through for a period of 6 months, even in the UK, that they were not, it's on record, that they were not paid. And it's the same thing in America and some other places. Let me ask you, because you are an insider, is this madness of treating staffs anyhow, is it only limited to Nigerian embassies, or is it the normal thing for Nigerian chief executive of either the commission or the embassies behaving like this? Why do they do that? Why are they doing that?
Yes, thank you, sir. I want to believe it's kind of power drawn. You know, the belief of an average Nigerian who is opportune to occupy position. They believe no one can challenge them. Autocratic in decision making. When I say it, it has to be so. And I want to look something from the other side. This the idea, or maybe the tradition of an African over exonerating or taking up people in top position has cultivated much into it. Here we are in Spain, you can meet a director, even the president of this country will shake you, you hit each other at the back, you say a little baby hitting the king at the back, but you cannot do it to someone who is a chairman in Nigeria. When he calls you, you must say, sir. These are the things that has added to the power drunkenness that is going on in Africa. I've been in this country for 20-something years. Before coming to Spain, I was in England to study a little bit. I have kind of insight of how the people, these white people's life is. Okay, we can talk about culture or tradition, but I want to see most of these people. I made mention of some ambassadors, like people like Ambassador Obed Wazani. Throughout his time here, even after he left, his tenure ended in Spain, people were still praying for him, praising him, because every Nigerian at that time knew that we have a representative. He was a godly man who cares for the people. There are a lot of things this ambassador sacrificed for the employee, I mean the staff, the locally recruited staffs of the embassy to enjoy. He forfeited and sacrificed a lot of things. One, our salary was never been delayed during this time. Every entitlement was given to everyone.
That never failed.
No, sir. Ambassador Bianca came, Ojukwu, she's still alive. She did the same. When she came, she told us, look, your social, your health, your life is my concern. I'm here to represent the federal government of Nigeria and to make sure you people are in good form.
So no wonder she slapped somebody that wasn't compliant.
I don't want to go into that, because Ambassador Ojukwu, I was in a room, we stayed together in a sitting room, we have dined all of us together. This is a woman who is gentle, hardly talk, hardly. She smiled when she look at your family, oh, pastor, how's your family, and all this. And let me tell you, sir, when this thing started, some ex-ambassador from information called Ambassador Demola that this thing you are dabbling into is not going to work right for you, especially because of the labor law of Spain. I want to tell you, sir, in February 3, 2022, there was a new law that favors the employees. New law. I remember that when I was talking with Ambassador, he's filled with himself. He wants to tell you he knows everything. I told him, Excellency, what you are trying to do is contrary to the new labor law of Spain. I have been in this country. All my children are Spaniards. Even myself, I am Spanish by the special grace of God. I have been in this country. We know what is going on. Excellency, don't try it. He said, no, I just spoke with one of the members of the house and they said, no, they don't say. Let me tell you, sir, this is the termination of appointment paper. And the lawyer condemned it completely because it does not have any relationship with the law of this country. When you are sacking, making a collective sack, you must have a comparison, either due to financial problem or whatsoever. But what he has done, sacking 11 to employ 15. On what ground?
Sorry to interject you there. Are these replacements you are talking about, are they all indigenous people or they are foreigners?
We have, I think, as at the time I know, we have only one Nigerian who was employed, a young boy, and the others, reception, South America, even 2 cleaners, South America, the security, Romania, and the rest, only one Nigerian. There's no any justification. And in the letter, if you permit me to read what our ambassador, well, of course, our lawyer said this can never be a letter to terminate appointment of a long time. You give an excuse.
Yeah, go ahead, read it.
I can read it. Thank you very much. It said notice of termination of appointment. Following the ongoing reforms and reorganization of the embassy, it has become paramount to reduce the number of locally recruited, take note, sir, to reduce the number of locally recruited staff to ease the financial burden on the embassy's finances. Therefore, I am directed to issue you a notice of termination of appointment with effect from 24, that is to me, January to 7th of February, being a statutory requirement for termination of appointment to issue 15 days notice. Now, he said 2, consequently, your appointment in the mission will terminate with effect from 7th of February 2022. 3, you are then required to surrender all missions property at your disposal. In addition, you are advised to proceed to the account section for the calculation of your terminal benefit. Kindly acknowledge receipt of this letter by signing the attached copy, which immediately I was served with this letter. I signed it, and the money they calculated by their own calculation was given to me, which I have taken to a labor court. 8 people were sacked the same month of February, but up till date, Ambassador Demola have refused to give them their entitlement. Why? Few days, maybe the lawyer advised him, look, you have made mistake. This termination and the entitlement given to so person will be challenged because it was not well calculated. Now, they now decided to attach a clause to the remaining money to be paid to those who are sacked. And what is the clause? That they will not take the embassy or the ambassador to court after receiving their pay. How can you attach condition to my entitlement? In this country, if you go to a store to buy anything, there is reclamation. We call reclamation a certificate of reclaim.
Yes.
You can challenge. Why will ambassador, if he knows what he has done is right, why will they attach a condition to say nobody should challenge him in the court? This is a country whereby everybody, before you put your hand, dip your hands on anything, you want to go through it clearly. And everybody say, Excellency, we will not sign. We are not going to sign your paper. We have been sacked. We have signed our termination of appointment, but why will you hold our money? And that is what the lawyer is fighting for now.
Okay.
We have sent a letter to the Senate President. Let me say this clear, sir. We have written the Senate President of Nigeria. We have written to the Permanent Secretary, the Foreign Minister, and the Speaker of the House. And I want to believe that they have responded positively to the letter we sent to them. Yes, sir.
Right. Well, again, as I said, this program is about discussing matters arising on and about issues that are relevant to Nigerians, and also, where possible, to highlight all the terrible things. And I take that upon myself as a duty not to cover up any terrible things that I believe that are going on in the country called Nigeria. Because the truth of the matter is, I would rather say what I have to say on behalf of the ordinary people than want to be part of the clique that is raping and abusing their fellow citizens because they are in position of power. I'm not going to be part of that. Well, but having said that, Mr. Olumakin,
yes, sir,
there are also complaints all over the place, and not only in Spain. Like I said before, I have seen that, I've heard that, where I've never been a victim, but I also say that also among staffs of these embassies, well, I don't know, whether most of the staffs, depending on which department they work with or for, and also a lot of asking for gratifications to prepare documentations have been going on. But like I said, I can only say what I hear and to put it in bracket that they may be right, they may be wrong. But then also, I have also heard that some of the embassy staffs are also in the business of extorting money from fellow Nigerians. That when situations like this occur, some Nigerians say, well, it's good for them because they're not different from the ambassador anyway. The ambassador is doing what they are also likely to do. It's just because of the position is just different as we speak. What you have to say to people who say corruption is also rife in most Nigerian embassies all over the world, Spain being one case study as we speak now.
Thank you, sir. Not too much to say. All the fault is from the Nigerians who are looking for one thing or the other at the embassy. Nigerians, as we all know, we always want to jump protocol. We don't want to go by the order. And if anyone will talk about being corrupt, it is the same Nigerians who are complaining, who should check themselves. I have worked 22 years, 4 months in the embassy, and I can tell you categorically, I have a clean record. in Spain. I have a clean record in Spain. I don't want to talk on behalf of any other person, because once I am not there and no one gives bribe openly, I want to say that. And
yes,
once there is no agreement, nobody will force anybody to dish out things from his or her pocket. If there is no agreement, I don't want to talk on behalf of my colleagues, but I know what we are doing in Spain. We have been doing what we know how to do. When Ambassador came, he acknowledged some of these things. He acknowledged some of these things. I want to tell you, sir, it is the same Nigerians who will want to lobby the staff to do what they are not supposed to do. At the end of the day, will go on the street complaining. Tell them to come and report. If you have an evidence, there will not be argument. But no, they won't do that. I'm a pastor of a church. I pastor. For 17 years, I've been pastoring a church. I have members. They do go to the Nigerian embassy. Before they go, I tell them, listen to this. I'm working in the Nigerian embassy does not mean we have to break protocol. And when my members are coming, they are always well prepared before they get to the embassy. They know their pastor is working there, but they won't jump the protocol. So if anyone, I want to say this clear and clear. I don't want to talk about other nations, but I know in Spain, we talk to each other. We know what is going on. Spain is not as big as UK. Spain is not as big as United States. Spain is a very small country, especially Madrid where we are. There's no consulate in other area. But I want to tell you, sir, ask some of these people, or most of them, how come they pay bribe when they are not supposed to pay? Who are they paying it to? Why don't they report to the authority? These are the questions I always love people to ask. Someone came to me some years back. I was asked to bring money. You are asked, are you forced? You can say no. It's optional. You can always say no. And if you are not given what you are supposed to be given, you can always write to the authority. The duty of the ambassador, the duty of the head of chancellery. The head of chancellery is a career diplomat who is in charge of whatever that is going on in the nation, unless he or she is corrupt. So we have people who are checking the staffs. So I will not 100% agree with those accusations or allegations that this case may be.
Fair enough. I can live with your explanations. I also believe that not everybody is corrupt. It's only the corruption is so emboldened when you see people in power, people in government, politicians abusing the privileges, especially with impunity, doing certain things they're not supposed to be doing. Having said that, your argument for not everybody taking bribe in some of these embassies, you want to stick within the embassy of Nigeria. Yeah, well, I mean, it's not all that very plausible, because if you ask 20 Nigerians, about 17 and now we say, am I down low? Don't even go there. They're not telling you the truth. And the person taking bribe will not tell you that he's taking bribe anyway. So I also want to understand that. But let's quickly move to another area on this show. I have no doubt in my mind that most of the complaints, starting from the irregular payment of salaries,
Yes, sir.
the kind of treatment slave and master relationship, the pomposity of the ambassadors showing off, taking advantage of the ordinary man in the embassy, and also the kind of their lifestyles.
That's right.
But I'm so happy to hear that out of the 5 ambassadors you've worked with, you probably talking about 2 of them who are just like have been behaving badly. Am I right?
Right, sir. Yes, sir.
Then we can still say that majority of the people who have come to serve the career or non-career ambassadors that have come to serve the citizens of Nigeria in Spain are not all that bad.
No, sir.
But still, how often do Nigerians in Spain, or let me put it this way, if we ask 20 Nigerians in Spain, judging from the services they get from the embassy and rating the quality from 1 to 10, what do you think 20 Nigerians, how many of them will say scale 1 to 10? 10 being the highest. Wow, they done fantastically well. How many of them do you think will say, I'm not going to give them 5%. I'll just give them below 5 because here we are. Will you disagree with that kind of a person that say you cannot give you more than 5% in the embassy because you are one of them? You work there.
Yes, thank you. Human being who we are, you can hardly sense the mind of other people. I want to assure you this. Some people might be in pain. They will still be laughing. Some people genuinely, they will say, oh, this is actually what is going on. I want to tell you, I can hardly say this is the number of people, but in Spain, generally, we have seen people coming from other countries to acknowledge our services in the Embassy of Nigeria. I've had many people, I've helped people from the UK, especially those who relocated from here to UK. Most of the time, they still call back to us. Are you hearing me, sir?
I can't hear you again. I think the volume is gone.
Sorry, sir. Oh, sir. Are you hearing me now?
Hello, babe. If you can raise up your voice, please.
Okay.
I can hear you very well now.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, like I said, people comes from other country because they knew what we are doing there. We help our people a lot. We help our people a lot in the embassy here in Madrid. I cannot compare Nigeria Embassy Spain with the one in the UK or any other places. I've not been there, but judge from what people say, I think we have been trying our best. And that's my submission.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Again, like I said, I'm very happy to hear that at least there's somebody somewhere to say we can stand up for good services to people of Nigeria who are in this country. Again, I want to try to avoid the area of legal argument that's built into your letter of termination and the again, the certain part of the argument that is obvious that if the ambassador chooses to operate in such a manner, he probably will be looking at you that you are in Nigeria, even though your embassy is in Spain. You know, but again, like I said, I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get involved in that all that much. Right. Before we round up, I want to reiterate what I said at the beginning, that the ambassador or the spokesperson for the embassy will try to contact them, and they have the right to come on this program, and also to come and let everybody in the world to hear their own views, their own sides. The invitation remains open. If they don't get it as quickly as possible, whenever they get it, we are recording this. We might be able to play some of what you said to them, and then they can then choose to defend or not to defend. Having said that, it's usual practice when I do program like this to give one or couple of people to call in to contribute, depending on what the time is, depending on how much time we have left. So, and if anybody want to call, the numbers are on the screen, but I can tell you the one you can call is a WhatsApp call. You can call me on the 0+44, because the people is calling from Spain. That'll be +44 790 779 2363. Let me repeat. +44 790 779 2363. You can call. We have maybe another 10 minutes to play with before we round up this program, and have your say, contribute. While we are waiting for probable calls to come in, what is exactly are you, apart from you, I mean, you have already taken the matter to a lawyer, because 99% of the time when we have issues like this, the only place to resolve it is not a booker, it's not a restaurant, it's usually you have to go to court of law. That is where, again, like I said, I don't want to get too much involved because of the jurisdiction. I don't want to start pretending that I know more in law than any other lawyers. So I leave that to the lawyers who will be handling your case for you. Is there any other thing you want us to know that you think, as a Nigerian and as somebody who has put so many years of hard work to run, to support all the ambassadors in the embassy, and you got what you got? Is there any other thing you want listeners all over the world to know that also is in addition to what was going on? Yes.
Thank you, sir. Major thing I would like to say, and this concerns the federal government of Nigeria. We have career diplomats, people who study all their time and prepared for a duty to serve Nigeria in the diplomatic missions. Why will they leave them behind and send a politician who does not even know what he or she is supposed to do? I want to expose this. The former ambassador, Aderonke, the predecessor of Ademola Seriki, she was just like a visitor, someone who doesn't know her duty, assignment that she was sent to do in this country. She hardly go to meeting. I want to say this, even though it's funny. There was a day an ambassador of South Africa.
Hold on. I think I have a caller.
Okay.
I have a caller. Yes. Hello. Who is calling and where are you calling from?
Hello, I'm calling from Spain.
Okay. What's your name and what do you have to say?
My name is Kevin. I am calling from Spain in respect of this matter, this case.
Yes. Go on. Make your contribution.
What I just want to say is concerning this ambassador Ademola Sheriki. This man, remember, this man come to Spain on political appointment. What gives him the guts to terminate contract that has been there for 22 years? If he is not a selfish man and for his own selfish interest, he come to Spain to spend at least 8 years. Why will he terminate the benefit of somebody who has worked for 28 years, if not for his own selfish interest? And I want the government of Nigeria to give justice to these people before he went away. Let justice be done. I know he will not come out on this platform to defend himself because he knows he is a failure and he's going to be a failure over this case. I just want justice to prevail.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your contribution from Spain. Ademola, you said is your name?
No, Kelvin.
Kevin.
Oh, Mr. Kevin. Mr. Kevin. Thank you very much, Mr. Kevin. Right. Thank you for your contribution. Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Olumakin.
Yes, sir.
You heard what Mr. Kevin said from Spain. That might give you a little bit of joy that here's someone that calls to confirm most of what you have been saying. But who knows, maybe before the end of the program, somebody may call again to contradict some of what you have been saying. But then that's the nature of interaction with human beings. You know, we're never going to be on the same room for the same thing, and we shift. We choose to do different things at different times. Well, again, like I said, I still have a couple of minutes left to get people to contribute. But if not, you missed one or two very important points, which, like the gentleman that called, said that the putting a square in a round hole or a round peg in a square usually doesn't work. That most other people of other civilized countries always choose to send in engineers, aeronautic engineers, to where aircraft are being built, things that got to do with aeronautics. You know, they're not going to take just an ordinary barber, ordinary politician, ordinary, even though all these other people have their roles in the society, but they're just not going to take anybody just because of political affiliation and connections. You know. Having said that, I don't know how much we can do about that to continue to expose how bad our politicians are, how bad services our people are getting, both inside and outside, because the people also inside did not getting better. But then to carry the terrible things to a civilized, well-organized, well-enabled country where you don't have problem of light, water, security, and some other thing, but then they still bring it to the embassy. Don't forget is the way some of these people are behaving. Good. There's some of them who have behaved very well, but also some of these who are behaving badly. They continue to see the embassy supposed to be like they are in Nigeria, which is about time we judge. I want to thank you, but then again, before we go, I want to repeat the Clevenard TV and the organization we have made, and we are still making, and we are still going to make efforts to get the ambassador or somebody from the embassy who may be a spokesperson for the embassy to come and tell us the side of their own of their story. So again, do you have any question for me? Because somebody accused me, say, Otumba, you always ask people questions. You don't even tell them for once let them ask you questions. I say, well, maybe the nature of the job is like we showcase, we talk about issues, but then again, I say, I'm going to take that on board. So if you have any question for me, please do not feel shy. Don't even think like Otumba is going to run into the plane, come to Spain and come and meet you. It's not going to be possible. Just tell me. If you have any question for me, please ask me, sir.
Honestly speaking, I don't have question, but I want to encourage the Clevenard TV to do more to get to the authority, the feelings of Nigerians outside the country. You have clearly qualified or describe how the nations of this part of the world are living. They are well organized. And the funny thing, most of these people will come, they know how it's working here. They want to tell you this is how we are doing it. We want the Clevenard TV to there are programs you need to set up for even the authority. Call those who are in power, ask them the question, why do you keep on, instead of you learning, try to gain from the other part of the world, inculcate the new things in your own land? Why do you have to say, this is how we are doing it? You want to tell them this will not work. They say, no, I know the people there. Ambassador Ademola brought his own personal car from Nigeria, ignoring the official car. And now the embassy is spending money.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is that Innocent? Is the car he brought from Nigeria, is it called Innocent, or is the same car that
no, this is Range Rover. Range Rover. We have Mercedes-Benz on ground, which is a rep car in Spain. Ambassador, the same car, other ambassadors, only 2 ambassadors used this car. He only imported or carried this car from Nigeria to be spending Nigerian money to repair his own personal car. This is not done.
Again,
how can?
I'm sure you will agree with me. I live in the UK, but I have no doubt in my mind that people who are watching this program, I can see the large number of people watching us from different parts of the world. And the people in Spain will be able to confirm whether what you just said. Yeah, I believe, I know, I can imagine how crazy some of us can be. And that is what has drifted the country to where it is now, that there's a large evidence of lawlessness, misbehavior, tendencies to want to exploit, extort, disrupt, and create chaos in governance, which in most cases, time will judge those who are there. So I want to appreciate you. Thank you very much for coming. God bless you. Best regards to your family. I want to wish you a lovely weekend. Before you go, we might have reasons to recall you back. We might have reasons to recall you back, and then we can have a chat with you again. I want to appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, and I'll be ready and willing to come back on the line to tell the world whatever you ask of me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So, viewers, is another Friday afternoon, my regular evening show, OTUNBAHOOLATEST, 7 o'clock to. If you hear from me, I will be very happy for you to call me again and say, why do you have this anyway? Without you, I cannot be Otumba. It's only with you, with your strength. Your strength is my strength. So that's the end of this afternoon edition of OTUNBAHOOLATEST, coming to you from Clevenard TV in Spain. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.